Good evening. I hope this reaches you well. Chelsea Collie here. I hope this reaches you well on this lovely, Friday evening, July 9th, 2022. It's good to see you again. I know it's been a long time. Let me know if you can hear me, okay? I know I've been gone for several months and just wanted to say sorry that I haven't been able to go live for a while. This has been kind of a tough year. It's been like one thing after the other, and then we finally get to a place where it's okay, and then we have a water damage downstairs and have to go to a hotel, and then we get back, and I went on a trip and Jackson got sick and we had to go to the hospital, and then we come home, and then our dog got into a big accident. He ended up being okay, but then he, a week later, he was healing up, doing really well, and a rattlesnake was in our backyard, and he darted under the patio to go attack the rattlesnake, and the rattlesnake bit him. And he had some kind of a reaction. Something happened down there under that deck, and so my poor dog Doodles passed away, and that was last month. I think it was about 5 weeks ago, and I've noticed a lot of other people's dogs are dying. I don't know if you've noticed that, but especially in the last couple weeks, there's a lot of people's dogs dying, and a lot of them are 10, 11 years old. I made a post on this one group, and there was 8 different dogs that have died recently, and they were all the age 11. So that's just weird. But I just wanted to do a quick update. This is probably going to be a longer video, but I'm going to try to go through as much information as possible. I hope that the sound is okay, because I normally do this on my computer, but my computer's not working right now. So what I want to do is just go through a lot of the intel and basically go over everything that's right now and everything that's happened up to now, and hopefully I can put a big bow around everything and package it all together and give you guys some hope, because there is so much incredible things happening, incredible, really, really great. I know you know. And regardless of how you feel about Roe versus Wade, we know that those are satanic sacrifices, and this is a good versus evil. Thank you, VC, for commenting. You need the bow and hope. You need some hope. All right, I got some hope for you. And it's not hopium, it's real stuff. So one thing I wanted to start with, it's a story that I've been following myself. A friend of mine is kind of helping me, sharing some information about it, but let's talk about watch the water. And I know everybody has all these different theories about what watch the water means. Right now, I don't know if you know, but Lake Mead is so just disappearing. Lake Mead, and then there's another lake, I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but there's another lake that's feeds into Lake Mead, and they're both totally drying up, lost 40, 50 inches, it's in the last year. It's crazy. It's drying up, it's revealing things that are underneath the lake, dead bodies in a barrel with concrete. I'm not kidding. They've found multiple of those in Lake Mead. And the video that I saw the other day, it's still laying there. So they don't even know. There could be a body in there, but there's just no one's taken it. So anyways, it's revealing everything that's happened underneath the water, right? And what if these earthquakes have something to do with bringing all the water in and draining all the lakes to reveal what's underneath, to reveal what's been happening under the surface? So I think that's super cool. I've actually know for a fact that Hoover Dam was closed It was about 4 or 5 days ago, and a guy did a live about it, and I called, and it was busy. You could not get through, and I tried for hours, and I tried a little bit later, and I did actually get through, and the lady did confirm that it was closed the day before. Why was it closed? Well, there was a water leak. So I thought that was a funny story. Like, we're not going to believe that one again, right? There was a leak, a water pipe broke, is what she said. So we're not going to believe that again. But basically, if Lake Mead doesn't give water to Hoover Dam, then Las Vegas is going to lose 25% of their power. And the water is going down at a rapid pace. And it's a lot more than they're telling us. And they're hiding the fact that they actually have, hi Rayleigh, missed you too. They actually have some kind of military professional, what's it called, border patrol. Actually have border patrol there, and it was closed the other day. And that's the only thing that I know. It was closed just for one day as far as I'm aware. And let's just keep our eyes on watch the water, because what happens if there's no water? Like, there's no crops, there's no food. You know, already they can't have boats on Lake Mead anymore. It's like a tiny fraction of what it was. And you can see how the water has disappeared at a rapid rate, especially over the last couple of weeks. People have been tracking it. It's like a new thing where there's a bunch of people running there, and there's all these independent journalists, investigators, people like me that are running out, and they're covering the story because the mainstream media isn't, which I think is super cool. So we are the news, right? Literally, we are the news, and we are in the storm. Thanks for being here. Much love to you, Libby as well. Watch the water has many meanings. I believe that. Okay, so just FYI, it could, and we know this, we've prepared for this, but FYI, it could look like World War III. And it's going to at some point. I'm not saying that's like right now or, you know, gonna happen in the next week or anything, but I'm just saying, if it looks like World War III, all hell's about to break loose, we're having a nuclear threat, just don't panic. And I think it might be wise to go ahead and warn our family members ahead of time, because there's many people that we haven't talked to about this because, you know, people don't want to hear it. But maybe put it in a letter, something, I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video just for my friends and family members, just to, hey, I could be wrong, but heads up, this could happen, and if it does, just don't panic, you know, because it's gonna get better. We just have to get worse before we get better, and we know that. So we're ready for that. Nothing's gonna surprise us at this point. Any number of things can happen. Now that the Georgia Guidestones are down and satanic worship and ritual places are going to be off the face of the planet, there is a lot of speculation that the Washington Monument could be next, and that comes from my friend Michelle Moore-Winder, who has really incredible sources. Now, she has like 6 different military, and she has 3-letter agency sources, and as well as others. I do want to tell you that my friend Michelle, half of her sources are no longer. So there are a lot of people losing their lives in this, and it's not a movie. And we just want to, you know, send love and send good vibes and just share love and protection and, you know, pray for safety for a lot of these whistleblowers and these people who are trying to keep people informed. She said that half of them have died for suspicious reasons in the last 2 months. And she had 9, so that means like at least like 4 people died suspiciously. So just watch out and be careful. I'm not really like going anywhere at this point. And we've got good news from Trump. His airplane, you know, he said it's going to be flying fall 2022 or sooner, returning to the skies fall of 22 or sooner. So I think he's just trying to like make the little black hats squirm in their little panties and just get ready, because if you are on the dark side, they are coming for you. And there's a lot of information out there. We know, actually, I know, like, I'm pretty for sure on this because Michelle Moorwinder reported that Roe versus Wade was going to go through because they had already passed it in the docket court, private docket, some kind of docket. But they just couldn't announce it yet. So she told us like 2 weeks before that Roe versus Wade was going to be overturned. And she's told us now that, you know, the thing in 2020 has already been overturned. And I think that a lot of people have reported that at this point. And it comes from, you know, Patriot Phil, and it also comes from my friend Michelle, who has White Hat sources. It doesn't go off of anybody else's intel. She literally finds all of her own intel. Speaking of that, Ghislaine got 20 years, not enough, but at least it's something. R. Kelly got 30 years. Where's the list? We need to get that list, and we need to make that public. I know I've seen it before and I had it, so maybe I can dig it up, but I will share it if I can. Let's see. So if it looks like World War III, don't panic. And let's just get a little overview of what's happened over the course of the last week. Well, 10 days, right? So, Roe versus Wade went back to the states. That doesn't mean you can't get an abortion. That just means only some states will have it. So if you do want to get one, then you're going to have to probably go travel to a different state, FYI. So, you know, don't panic for everybody, but let's just realize and know that that is a satanic ritual practice. It's been done since the early ages in the Bible times, and it's still being done today. We know it's a lot worse now. So, what else happened? Was that last week? The Big Bang week. The Supreme Court has made all of these decisions that are like bam, bam, bam in our favor. And in our, I mean, like the patriots, people that really care about our country. The Second Amendment rights are being upheld in New York, of all places. So in New York, you can have your Second Amendment pow-pow rights, which is really surprising because, you know, New York and California are like the liberal strongholds. And then also remember, they said that prayer was allowed in school, and they could not fire the coach because he prayed with his football team. So they said the coach is allowed to pray on the field with his football team. So they are technically allowing praying in school, which is just ridiculous, you know, that we have to have a law for that. But at least we've got that. And then also the thing that happened last Friday that was really big that a lot of people missed was the EPA. And you may have heard, you may not. If you want more details, go to Anna Kate. It's ANNAKHAIT. She is an awesome investigative journalist, and she covered this with one of the highest guys when it comes to probably how they're going to overthrow Section 230. But she had a discussion on her channel. Go look up what it means as far as that EPA ruling. But I can just tell you, basically it means that the three-letter agencies aren't allowed to legislate anymore, which they shouldn't be allowed to legislate because they are not elected officials. So somehow, and this mess them up, it's set up now that they've messed up our court system, and, you know, EPA, FBI, WHO, CDC, WEF, CPS, all of these three-letter agencies are making laws, or when, if you want to, regardless if they're rules, regulations, or laws, those are all the same thing. They don't have the power to do that because that is actually legislation that needs to go through the court of law. We have a reason for separation of powers. And when I voiced my opinion to a family member, she's like, oh, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay. We have separation of powers. No, we don't. No, we don't anymore because it's all rigged against us. But those are huge wins we've got the Georgia Guidestones this week. We got Bojo resigning, the Prime Minister of England, and then the former Prime Minister of Japan was shot and killed yesterday, which Tarot by Janine did a reading and says he was most likely a black hat. Someone was reporting that. I can't remember the guy's name, that he lives in Japan. But basically, they probably hauled him off, and, you know, he's not really dead. They just hauled him off to, you know, go have a spa treatment. So, let's see. While I mentioned Janine, I'll go ahead and cover something else she said. That she said that there could be a lot of people leaving, and I don't know if that means a lot of people dying or just a lot of people being reported that they're dying. Maybe they're just being handled. We did get a calm with that with the Brad Pitt cover. How random was that? And also, thinking about Watch the Water, his dead body was floating in a puddle of water with flowers. And he was wearing very odd, plastic-looking mafia clothing. The whole thing was just very weird. He had a lizard on him. He had a flower petal that looked like a blood drop on his hand and his rings on there. So is that a calm that there are going to be a lot of Hollywood deaths in August? I don't know. Maybe they're going to announce Brad Pitt's death in August. She did also say that, you know, they're either leaving or they're getting carted off to the spa location. And also there was another monument that fell or crumbled yesterday along with the Guidestones. So now 2 of the 33 satanic monuments are handled, and don't be surprised if you see more. Random explosions that are totally unexplained, uninvestigated. They don't have any leads on who did it. And how suspicious is it that they bulldozed it a couple hours? Like, I mean, the same day. Wouldn't it be like a crime scene, like an investigation? Like, they didn't just like take down the towers or whatever. Like, that was a calm. What is that calm? Like, what does that mean? I think that means we're not going to blow the whole thing up and it's just gone. We're going white hat operation. What you think, DC? We're going to, you know, make a little ding and blow some things up, and then get everybody talking about it, get everybody, you know, making all the speculation and reporting on it and saying, well, what are the Georgia Guidestones? Let me look up and see what they say. Oh, maintain humanity within like 500 million people. Okay, so great. You know, the number one thing is like maintain humanity. So they just want to kill like 7.2 to 7.5 billion people. You know, that's like their number one thing on the agenda. And we totally see how they were trying to do that. So, in your face, black hats. That's for you, black hats. We're winning. God won. We already won. We just have to see it through. So, all of those Supreme Court wins. We've got the Guidestones. What's going to happen next? I don't know. It is allegedly, you know, about the Supreme Court that it has overthrown the, you know what I mean, and that Brett Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, and John Roberts are under military protection, as well as John Roberts is also under NATO protection, which is weird. I don't know if you have any idea why that might be. Comment below and let me know. And this is information coming from Patriot Phil Godlewski. It's Godlewski, and you can find him on Rumble if you want to see that video. It's a 7-minute video, very good. So yeah, they want to get these Supreme Court justices properly moved about, hidden to secure their families. It's just a matter of time. We're just like letting them sweat at this point and just let them like wonder what's going to be next. I did catch a David Zublik. It was very good. If you want to check it out, I think it's only like $2.99 a month. I just got it today. But watch the video from 7/7, July 7th. That whole thing is good. Like he does, I think 5 days a week, 4 hours a day, live, like back-to-back interviews. So I don't know, David Zublik, if you ever want to guest or need someone to fill in, I'd love to be on your show. And I thank you for everything that you've done, and being able to provide a censorship-free platform is just like really hard to do right now. So good job, David Zublik. You know, people thought you were crazy, but you're not. You're right on. So thanks for bringing the truth. And if that does happen, then it will automatically revert to the second place winner, which was actually the first place winner, and go back into DJT. And also about David Zublik, I was going to say, the man who apparently like had it commissioned for the Georgia Guidestones to be built was named R.C. Christian, and that was his code name. That was not his real name, and there's only one person that knows his true identity, and he is vowed to die with this secret. He will not tell. A lot of people have tried to get him to tell. They've like approached him when he's on his porch, and they're like, tell us, you know, if you die, the secret dies with you, like tell us who R.C. Christian is. Won't tell him. So David Zublik has a theory that it is actually Ted Turner. So he's done a lot of research on this. He's talked to a lot of different people, and he has reason to believe that allegedly R.C. Christian could be Ted Turner. So just thought that was an interesting little piece of information. And I do also want to mention, like, let's talk about Kristen, because I have to tell you, I think she's alive. I mean, we already kind of guessed that she was alive, and just because people weren't talking about it, that's why I started my channel, or I started going live, because I was like, someone's got to talk about this, you know? You thought it was Ted Turner too? Interesting. So Kirsten's alive. There has been a channel that has come out, and I cannot remember the name. It's not Truth Seeker. It's a different one. But it's a channel of a guy with a voice, and the voice is like with a voice machine. He talks really slow. He claims to be at Juan Bay there in Cuba, and he claims to be there literally working with the White Hat team. He even claimed that, I think the big guy, which is not Mr. B, which was alluding to it was Mr. T, was in the room at one point when he was doing this, and he said, they didn't want me to do this, but they let me, and he's dropping some intel. He said he kind of alluded to the fact that Kirsten could be there. Like, Kirsten could be an actual, like, witness for the military tribunals. What he said was, I'm really close to Kirsten. I have a very close relationship with Kirsten, and she was and is an amazing person. So he didn't say, hey, Kirsten is alive. He said she was and is a great person. And that's just me, you know, not exact words. It's just, you know, what I remember that he said. So he pretty much confirmed she was alive. And also Kristen on Arcana Shores did a reading on that. She also confirmed that Kristen is still alive. They just had to protect her and take her back, you know, into hiding. And And she also mentioned that she was done. Like, Kirsten was done. She's been fighting this fight for a long time. She's taken a lot of hits, and she was just done. And that's what Kirsten said. Like 6 months before, I think she even gave a date. She said, if T's not back by January 6th, then I'm done. And then literally, all of a sudden, she's gone, you know? And also, try to be strategic about the way I say this, because I don't want to pee off any bad people. But there is a major main truther that was blocking, erasing, and deleting any comments about Kirsten. And this is someone who claims to be close to her. So, and then has all the moderators say, hey, if you talk about Kirsten, you're gonna get blocked. And I got in timeout, you know, and I tried to, when he or she was on, I tried to go in and say, hey, what about Kirsten, you know? Because it's just like, okay, well, this is the story. So even if it's not true, we're going to pretend like it is true because it's going to benefit the bad people and the good people. But we're kind of sick of all the lies. Am I right? Like, we're sick of the lies. And we understand why they had to lie, but like, tell us the truth. If you're saying that you had out-of-body experiences with Kirsten's soul, that's kind of a big lie if she's still in protection. Or maybe they think of it, oh, I did have an astral projection or remote view, so that counts. So they're, you know, making it honest in their head, but it's not honest. So I just want to tell you, I'm going to be honest with you, even, you know, if you don't want to hear it, or even sometimes if it comes out wrong. I'm sorry if it comes out wrong. I'm trying to stay middle ground. I'm trying not to like go all the way this way or all the way this way. I'm trying to present both sides and say, I don't know what the truth is, but you decide what you believe. These are the 2 possibilities, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 possibilities. And, you know, you find what resonates with you. So I'm not telling you to believe me. I'm not telling you what to believe. I'm just saying, like they all say, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. There was a couple other things. So about the truther movement. Yeah, why would Kirsten go to California? Worst place for her to be. Totally. Like, she's smarter than that. We know that. She said she was going anyway. And it's very suspicious that her dad died right at that time. And her dad died, but she still went to California. Come on. Apparently her and her dad were close. I don't know. I don't know her personally. But we do appreciate everybody who's laid the groundwork in this truth movement. So don't worry about, you know, all the things clashing, all the people that are telling this story or this story. It doesn't even really matter what the truth is, because when we find out, we really learn what the truth is, that's not going to be right anyway, because that's going to change, and, you know, everything is always changing. So let's just try not to stress out about trying to fit everybody in a certain category, like this guy's a bad guy, this guy's a good guy, you know, like maybe there's just maybe everybody's just gray. Maybe we're all black and white, you know, like maybe, you know, we're white hats and dark hats. Like, we are a collective consciousness. So the more we can elevate ourselves, the more it's going to elevate others. But then again, like, we're good and bad. Like, we make mistakes, and, you know, sometimes we learn from the lessons. Thank you, Vicky. And sometimes we don't learn from the lessons, and we have to keep repeating it. But I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, the intel really doesn't matter. It just matters how we feel, how we're doing, how we're treating our family, how we're showing up for our family, and just trying to help our friends along the way. I know many of our friends are just gone, like totally just like not even in my life anymore, at least speaking for myself. And I do feel really betrayed. by some of my friends, to be honest. But that's why I have you guys. And I think the one thing, being a viewer, being a subscriber, or, you know, an audience member from these people who we do look up to. And, you know, we try not to idolize them. We try not to, like, make anybody savior or anything like that. But we do look up to them, you know, like when I watched JCK, I love her. Like, when I watch Bryce, I love her. Like, I totally feel like we're friends. Like, oh yeah, Bryce, my friend. She doesn't know who I am, but, like, I love her. So we all feel like we're part of this, but we're not together. So we're all missing out on that togetherness. And that's the part that I hate the most, that I want to change. Like, that is the opening. That is the availability. That is, like, the opportunity for me to be able to provide a meeting place, to provide a space. So as soon as I figure it out, I mean, probably first I'll just start a group on Unified. And we can just do that. And then eventually, you know, we'll have our own online world we can go to, because I'm going to design it in virtual reality. And if you are interested in virtual reality, and you want to take your business into virtual reality, that's something we should get in touch about. So you can send me an email personally. We're doing like 15-minute interviews, not interviews, tours with a company that is like really amazing. They just started, and it's like 3 people, but it's going to be huge. They're going to be like the Amazon of world building, and the creators are genius. I mean, you should see it. It looks like a movie, so you could literally design anything you want. Let me share this right now. I have always wanted to have a building and call it the Time Machine, and have the elevator go to different floors, and you can go to like 50s, 60s, 70s. That is totally something I can do in virtual reality. And anybody can go, anybody in the world. Maybe I can make a super cool lounge where you can just go there and hang out and work in your little avatar, and you can talk to different people around the world, and it's just open 24/7. You know, this is the kind of thing, like, I want to be able to bring us together on a certain platform and have that feeling of being a community, because that's what we're missing out on. You know, it's like Bryce and the other people, it's like they say we're part of this, but we're not, because we don't get to interact with them. And we should all be on the same group, you know? But Facebook, they just put me in a 24-hour timeout for something that I posted January 5th. And it was right after I talked about that I was going to go live. So I think my phone heard me that I was going to go live. And then Facebook put me in Facebook jail for 24 hours because of some random post on January 5th. So they're tricky, man. They're sneaky. But they're just trying to do what little they can, and whatever they can ruin on the way down, they will. So don't let them. You know, the way you protect yourself is self-love. If you can just love yourself and just be your best self, that's the best thing you can do. And that's the thing that I'm learning more than anything right now, is if I want to change the world, I can't do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. I have to do this. And I just have to love myself. And I have to show up for me. And I have to take care of me. And I have to achieve my highest potential, or make myself better so that I can heal, so that I can get through, you know, wounds and traumas that I've been through, and get to that better place where I'm empowered, I feel better, and I have the opportunity to achieve my highest potential. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm learning. You know, what is it? As without, so within. So I do want to cover this real quick. Let me make sure I got everything else, and then I'll end with Ishmael, because we all know that Ishmael is making the rounds, right? Who is this Ishmael guy? Make sure I got everything else. So one other thing before I get to Ishmael, this happened a long time ago, but I just want to bring this to your attention because there's so many people that are peed off about the abortion thing. Just remember, like, we know this isn't about a bug. This isn't about a thing. This isn't about a free speech. This is about our kids. And the most dangerous thing we can do is do nothing and stay silent. So, the American Psychiatry Association officially, and I think this was years ago, I think this may have even been like 10 or 20 years ago, made pedophilia a sexual orientation. So, American Psychiatry Association is supporting pedophilia and saying it's okay, they just like kids. It's just like a guy that likes a guy. It's just a guy that likes a child. It's a sexual orientation. Pedophilia is a sexual orientation. No, it's not. And I watched David Zublik, and they were less than 4 years of pulling this up. Oh yeah, I think if Hillary was elected, we'd all be gone by now. But yeah, dang mosquitoes, I have mosquitoes in my house. Dear God, take all the mosquitoes out. They're literally in my face attacking me. I think they're demons. They come right here in my face. Sorry. So yeah, we know that they're pushing the pedophilia. They're sick and perverted. These people are sick. You can't get justice in the court systems. I know from personal experience, you cannot get justice for a minor regarding sexual assault in the workplace. Can't do it. Can't get justice. Can't get justice for anybody who's been raped or satanically ritually abused, because the story is so wild that they think you're making it up. The statistics are you have to tell 14 people about your abuse before one person believes you. Those are the statistics. It's no wonder people aren't healed. It's no wonder people can't move forward. It's no wonder everybody's on, prescription drugs. All they do when these people have been raped or, have this childhood trauma from being a sex slave for years, they say, okay, this is a mental illness. I'm sorry, but being a victim is not a mental illness. And what they're doing is they're just putting them through the system. The psychologists are in on it. There was also another statistic that Sandy Glaze gave on David Zublik on 7/7, and she said that 14... 85% of the kids who go missing is because of a 3-letter agency that is a protective agency for little ones. And they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it. Parents can't get justice in the court system. There are parents who their child is with an abuser, and the agency will not let them have access to their children for 2 years. Meanwhile, this child is being sexually, physically, verbally, totally screwed. And the mom can't do anything about it? What is wrong with our justice system? Bring it all down. Bring the whole fucking justice system down. It's broken. It's not protecting our kids. We're not protecting our kids. People actually make fun of me or, say things or whatever, says I'm full of shit or whatever. At least I'm talking about it. You're just being a troll on Facebook. We have to rise up and do something, or it will affect us closer to home. And I don't want that. I want to declare safe, white light, healing protection around my family and all of my family members and friends. I want to pray for white light, healing, protection around you and your family members. May us all be protected in God, Jesus, Yeshua's name. Father, Creator, Source, whatever we call him or her, it, they, them. Just protect us and be with us. Save our children. That's right, VC. Like, save our children. Remember, this is not about us. This isn't about, a bug or a thing or this or that or, riots or, having the right to kill your baby. This is about the children suffering who've had this torturous abuse and who've been traumatized, and they have no recall for it. They have no closure over it. They won't even be heard. So they just bear this. And it's not right. As a society, this needs to change. The whole justice system needs to come down. The whole big tech needs to come down. Big pharma. All of it needs to come down in Jesus' name. Let everything that will be shaken, can be shaken, let it fall. We're done. We're so done. We were done 2 years ago. That's how done we are. And this is so evil. We need a new word for evil, because it is sick. And I only know a fraction, but I know more than most people regarding this. And you're one of those people too. So this is not okay. It's not going to happen. And this cannot be part of our world moving forward. We stay stuck. We stay ignorant. We stay blind. We stay compliant. We say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir, be a yes man or a yes, sir, and just say yes and just let them tear you down and kill your families. Or we say no. No. And thank God someone's watching out for us. And thank God someone has our back. And thank God there are white hats working behind the scenes. And we know that for a fact now, because look at the Supreme Court. However, if I'm wrong, it's okay. I think you probably know, because you probably had these thoughts yourself, but if you feel like maybe I shouldn't believe this, maybe Trump is a bad guy, maybe Trump is a satanic guy, and he's just pitting against the other guy, they're keeping us fighting in the middle, and we're all going down, and this is end of times. Maybe there are no white hats. Well, if that's the case, at least I had hope. At least I had faith of something better. Better than this. Because we deserve better. And our country, and our world, and our children are worth fighting for. So, I think that's it. If you do want to invite on the virtual reality thing, send me an email, and you can get a hold of me at chelseacollie360.com. It's all my social media. You can text bucket list, all caps, no spaces, to get your free bucket list blueprint. The Art of the War, The Art of the Deal. Yeah, man, I've read The Art of the Deal twice now. And I haven't read The Art of War, but I really want to. So, there is something I want to share more. You know what? Maybe I'll do Ishmael in a different video. Because there are some things that I also want to share. And I do think that Ishmael is a good person, and I am resonating with a lot of what he says. But there are some things that are a little suspicious. And, of course, it's concerning when you don't see this guy ever, and then all of a sudden he's everywhere. And it's suspicious. And we have to use our discernment. So, I hope he is who he says he is. I tell you what, this book is pure genius. I mean, I'm only like 10 pages in, and I am shocked I mean, this is, oh yeah, Ishmael Perez is a whole discussion. Totally. So, meanwhile, if you want to check out the channel, The Mystic Arts, apparently this is the school that Ishmael and Taylor Fortune started together. So, I had never heard Ishmael talk about Taylor Fortune before, and I know that his link to book his class is with a school called the Mystic Arts. And that, there's some red flags there that I just want to be transparent about. And I know that we're all coming out of this like religious programming and MK Ultra and everything, but there is like hashtags on there on every video that this Taylor Fortune guy does. Occult, Wiccan, pagan, sex magic. Those are all big red flags for me. And I really do identify with the guy, and I like him, I want to like him. But he expects everyone to be open to this because his mom was in the occult growing up, and apparently they practiced magic, but it wasn't black magic. It's like his mom was a healer. So yeah, there is such a thing as people who heal. And is healing evil? I don't know, because Jesus was a healer, and Jesus turned wine into water, and that's magic. So I don't know the answers, but there are some things that we should discuss. And meanwhile, you can take a look at his, if you just go to, oh yeah, Kirsten W., she's most likely alive. There's people that are reporting that she's alive that know her personally, and also Kirsten and Jason did a reading on it on our Arcana Shores, and says yes, that Kirsten was just done and they had to take her and put her in hiding. But I do believe she is alive. I mean, at this point, it's probably the most likely thing. So let's just watch out. Let's just be careful. I know why people talk about the dangers of New Age, and I definitely don't want to get into anything dark or black magic. But I do want to learn more about where we came from, you know, our lineage. I don't know how Tartaria fits into this, and I'd like to discover that. I have been in contact with Ishmael Perez, and he's checking out my channel to decide if he's going to do an interview with me at this point, I believe. He doesn't check his messages very much on Messenger because he only is on Instagram, and I don't have my Instagram right now. And every time he posts to Instagram, it automatically goes to Facebook. So he hasn't been seeing my messages, but hopefully he'll check out my channel and we'll be able to talk to Ishmael ourselves. So lots of love. We just want to be careful, use caution, use discernment, pray, uplift yourself, protect yourself with the power of self-love. And I do want to give you one more thing real quick. This is really helps, and you can look it up. I don't know the name of the doctor off my head, but it's called EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. And what the emotional freedom technique is called tapping. If you've never heard of tapping, basically it's when you have something that's hard. Say you have anxiety. My anxiety, it's so heavy, my horrible anxiety. And what you do is you rate it at a level of 1 to 10 and say, okay, my anxiety is at a 5 right now. And you do this. So do this with me. Get your hand, and it doesn't matter which side or which hand you do it on, because once you do it on one, tapping works. It works for me too, Libby. It really does help. And when I do it every day, like, I'm okay. So if you're having a moment and you're just like about to lose it, it really does help. Like, just give it a couple minutes. You'll be fine. So all you do is you think of that thought, like my anxiety, my frustration. Think about where that is in your body. Say it's in the pit of my gut. I'm imagining, what does it look like? What color is it? You know, how hard is it? How big is it? And you're feeling it. You're intensifying that anxiety, the anxiety. and you go and you're tapping. And so you rate yourself 1 to 10. Where am I at? I'm at a 5. Okay, my anxiety, my anxiety, my anxiety, my anxiety, my horrible anxiety, my terrible anxiety, my anxiety, this anxiety. Deep breath. Where am I at? 1 to 10. Oh, I'm at a 4 right now. Okay, I'm at a 4. My anxiety, this horrible anxiety, my anxiety, this horrible anxiety. I effing hate this anxiety. However you want to say it. At this point, you're doing it right here. And all you're going to do is tap a few times. You want to tap at least 5 times. So you can tap like 7 times or 10 times, or you can just tap 5 times. Or even if you're not able to use your hands at the time, you can do this in your head. And it still works. And this works exactly the same as acupuncture without the needles. It works on your meridians. So just want to give you that. You're just going to tap here, 1 through 10, here, outside of the eye, under the nose, on the chin, on the collarbone, and right here. Deep breath, 1 through 10, and repeat. So I hope that's valuable to you. I hope I made this quick enough. I know we're going on an hour here, but at least I got a lot of information to you. And one other thing that was super interesting that Jessie said, because if you watch the video, I think all of you go get a David's like membership, okay? I'll put the link in the comments to go get a membership to Dark Outpost. But watch the video from 7/7. It is so good. I mean, the first hour is like about Georgia Guidestones, and then they do an interview with Bryce and Stephanie about their trip going to the Georgia Guidestones, which they anointed a couple days before it collapsed, and went to DC, my pleasure, Libby, and told all about their trip. And then Jessie came on and did an hour-long overview. She went over all the possibilities, what the Guidestones could be. She told her opinion on what she thinks happened and what she thinks is under the Guidestones, and what she thinks is real because she knows. So she says, I think something, it's real, because she literally knows. She was at the head of the system. And I do want to share more about Jessie Zaboter. I think she's incredible. And she was made to take the system down. I do think it's possible that she could be the surprise witness that's been mentioned in the 17 posts recently. Surprise witness. She's been, for the last 4 or 5 years, dropping hints that she is working with them, saying she's like a witness involved in legal proceedings. I can't say that because I can't say that legally yet. She is not able to share her story yet. She hasn't even told us, like she hasn't even scratched the surface of what she knows. And she's already done probably 1,000 interviews. I mean, literally just in the last like year and a half, it's over like 100, 200, like, and that's not even including her David Zubel. I haven't even watched those. Like, this girl is powerful. And I think whatever Jessie says, we really need to take seriously. And what she says about the system is it's 5 parts. And I didn't write them down, so I hope I can remember right now. You may have to help me, but it's Kabbalah, which is 1, which is Kabbalah, which they also teach at the Mystic Arts for that school that apparently Ishmael and Taylor started. So Kabbalah, Mormon, Catholic, Jesuit, pagan, and there's another one. Oh, Masons. Yeah, it's like those 5 arms are all different corporations in the system. So the Kabbalah is a system. And I also learned something. I'm gonna have to do another video because this is like too much information. But I also learned something about a big organization that I cannot talk about yet because I don't want to get that teaches Kabbalah, that practices sex magic in their rituals. They're advertising this to the public, trying to get them to these events. And there have been really, really horrible sexual abuse, cult-like, Scientology-like manipulation. And this is in a new age school. So that was one thing that really set me off recently, because I recently discovered this. And I feel like they're great and they're local. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're good. But at the top of that, I know who's at the top. And he's not good. So maybe I'll be able to share this. Maybe not. But that's why Kabbalah, I've been listening to Jesse. Kabbalah is a ding, 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 red flag. So just know that when you kind of go into that stuff, people can use that for good or they can use that for bad. And there's a lot of people who use that for bad. Is it all bad? Does it mean that pentagrams are evil? No, actually, because everything that was bad was good before they took it. And they tried to, it's like they took a lot of things from us, you know, the 5-pointed star. But if that star is upside down, that is satanic, in my opinion. But hey, I could be wrong. But we just have to be super careful. So much love to you all. Does anybody have any questions? I don't think I can see the comments right now. I don't know why. But thank you so much. And I love you, and I just want to send you all my love. I want to pray for everybody's protection. Just be well, be joyous, forgive, find love in your hearts, find ways to show up for your family, and just be your best self. And just remember, you don't have to do anything. In order to change this world, you don't have to do. All you have to do is be. So just be you. All right, much love, guys.